Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of Burn, Nick, and with me today...
It's your girl, Pinky.
That's why I'm looking like I'm sitting by myself on camera, but, you know, it's what it is. So, today, we are going to be smoking a cigar courtesy of listener Seth.
Thanks, Seth.
He was very kind and sent a nice little care package my way. And Seth is a big Ferio Tego Michael Herklotz fan. And
that's a mouthful.
Well, I mean, it's a company and a name, but yes, exactly. And but when I had Michael on recently, I smoked a Generoso from Ferio Tego that I had been holding on to since 2021. Well, Seth, he came back and he sent two of the Elegancia, which is the sister cigar to the Generoso, also from 2021. So I will be smoking the other one from that year today, and Pinky will be joining me with her own.
That was a year, 2021.
You know, it was indeed a year. I don't know if I'm going to say it was a good year.
That was 2 years ago. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, it feels like it was just yesterday that I was moving out of my house and getting a divorce.
Jesus.
Anyway, moving on. We're going to take the footband off here.
It smells really good.
It was a hell of a year. It does. Kind of a little bit of a kind of barnyard.
Woodsy. Yeah, I was going to say woodsy.
Yeah, I'm getting like not manure.
No.
Not manure.
No.
But like barnyard. Well, some people, when you talk barnyard, they're like, you're talking about manure. I'm not talking about manure. It's that general barnyardy smell. So maybe manure might be like a component, but there's, dirt, there's hay, there's maybe, there's all sorts of things.
This might be the best smelling cigar I've ever smelled.
Smelled. I think when you smelt, you're melting a metal.
So
isn't that smelting?
Hell if I know.
I think that's smelting. Anyway, it's time to
I'm not into all that labor stuff. I literally hire out for everything. I don't know what I'm doing.
There's a South Park special that's on right now that's literally about just that. But
hiring out.
Yeah, it's on Paramount Plus, and basically it's talking about how like the handymen are going to become billionaires, and all the rest of us shouldn't have gone to college because we could have learned how to fix things, and how college is a scam and all this kind of. It was actually.
I do not disagree with that.
It was actually really pretty funny. Anyway, it's time to cut the cigar. I want a cigar, damn it!
Sorry.
It's time to cut a cigar, and the official cutting is brought to you by Dan the Man Ponder over there at Riverman Cigar Company. And guys, Dan the Man Ponder, he does carry the Ferio Tego brand cigars from Michael Herklotz, but he also has in the Fuente Rare Pinks, so you can get yourself some of the different sizes there. He's got that Aladino Sumatra, which is just fantastic, and a lot of other really great quality cigars. So if you want to support a brick and mortar shop, but you're not in the St. Louis area, Dan does do mail order, and he's able to ship a nice shipment to you right away. But if you're in the St. Louis area, do yourself a favor. Swing on by, say hi to Dan, say hi to Miss Cindy and Little John, and just have yourself a great cigar in a nice, relaxing environment. That's Riverman Cigar Company, Crestwood, Missouri. And with that, it's time to go ahead and cut the cigar.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I have been waiting all morning.
Same.
All morning. But, it's all right.
It's here. The time has come.
It is. The time has come. Tapped just a little bit of ash off. Oh, you know what? I need to give the statistic or the information about this cigar. So, the Elegancia, the 2021 Elegancia, it is a 6x50 Toro featuring an Ecuadorian wrapper, binder from the Dominican, and filler made up of Dominican and Nicaraguan tobacco, and it is made at the Casada factory. So there we go. All right, cold draw.
I'm still over here sniffing
You're just jamming it up your nostril over there. Like I look over and it looks like she's like you just got like a doing a COVID test with it or something, But yeah,
I'm trying to create the memory, like my body's memory, where I smell a cigar that's not been lit yet.
Okay.
And it should instantly call me. Like I know that I'm setting up for 90 minutes of enjoyment.
I mean, it's
That's
true.
what she said.
That's what she said.
90 minutes.
Hey, you put a little recharge time in. No, I'm kidding. Anyway.
It really does smell good. Okay.
Okay. Cold draw. I'm doing the
draw.
cold draw. Seeing what you're going at.
Cherry.
There is a berry tartness. So like a tart cherry.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
I'll totally go with that. I was looking to see if there was anything else, but
All right,
no.
let's go.
I'm going with that. I am firing up here. Let me get my lighter out of the sunlight so that I can actually see.
It is
my
very
flame.
bright and relatively windy today.
It's surprisingly warm in the St. Louis area today. As we're both lighting our cigars at the same time so nobody can talk. It is surprisingly warm. I think it was supposed to get to like 75 or something today.
Yeah, tomorrow it's supposed to be 80.
But then this weekend is going to be all sorts of
Back to crazy cold.
well, not crazy. I think it's supposed to be near 60.
Oh, okay.
So that's, in the 50s. So, it's not like it's going to be like, warm. But it's
I've only looked ahead
not
at
going to be cold.
tomorrow and Thursday because I'm physically over in St. Louis the next couple days.
Okay.
Ooh, that's good.
It is nice. Right off the bat. Nice, easy draw. I like that.
Yes.
So, Pinky, what the hell you been up to?
You know nothing.
It's been about a month,
Yeah.
since you've been on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember so last time I was on was the 11th day of October, and I only remember that because we pointed out that it was only the 11th day and it had been quite the month already. I feel like it leveled out. Did it level out for you?
No, fucking no.
No.
October was crazy.
Yeah.
It was absolutely insane all the way up until near the end. And November has come in and said, hey, October, hold my beer. So, no, this month has been just as nuts. I still am having a hard time wrapping my head around the fact that it's November.
Yeah.
I still mentally think it's October. And I don't know if that's because October went so fast that I didn't
It's like
have
there's
time
no
to
way.
process that the month was already over. Or maybe it's one of those things that realistically this year Halloween was kind of a fart in the wind for me. It just was. Halloween was just kind of this year. It really wasn't a big thing.
I feel like that's how it's becoming.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a couple other families about this. Halloween clearly is not what it used to be, and I think it's because there are so many. We've done what economies normally do, and we've capitalized the heck out of something. So there's Halloween used to be one of the holidays. It's that was the only day. You just celebrated Halloween.
Yeah.
And now it's starting a month before, you've got numerous opportunities to trunk or treat.
Yeah. And
parades.
12-foot skeletons in the lawn. And
yeah. So here's the thing. I love the decorating piece. I'm so glad people, I love Christmas. I am not a Halloween fan. And it has nothing to do with people think it's celebrating it's nothing that, it's just, I love dressing up, but weirdly not for Halloween.
Interesting.
Isn't that weird? See, I love a good theme. St. Patrick's Day, anything I'm going to dress up for. Halloween is, I don't know. It's just not my thing. But I'm glad other people enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're right. Halloween night this year, Javier and I sat in the basement. We watched a marathon of the first 48, which kind of felt appropriate.
Did they ever put out the St. Louis episodes?
I don't know.
They filmed in St. Louis.
Oh, really?
And did a season in St. Louis. And I, for the life of me, have never seen those episodes, but I wanted to.
That's probably for the best.
Well, the thing is, I know that that they film those, and they have to sit on them for a long time.
That is true.
While the courts move on with the process.
Because at the
and
end,
everything.
viewers want the closure, but even if they don't have that, they're like,
Yeah.
nobody's ever been arrested for this if you have
Yeah,
info. But
so-
most of them have that closure.
So I know that there's a period of time that they basically like
it's years. They
age
wait
it.
several years.
And so I don't know if that, but I feel like that was a while ago that they filmed that in town. So
could be.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'd like
so
to
that's
know.
what we did on Halloween. Was kiddo went out with his friends around the neighborhood.
Okay.
they were back by so it started at 6. I want to say it's 7:10. So we had told our kid, it's a school night, you can go out, but
Yeah.
people are not coming back to the house. We're not going to entertain friends tonight.
They really should just make trick or treat on Saturdays,
I
like
know.
the closest
Yeah.
Saturday to Halloween, and just call it a day.
So we're sitting in the basement watching what I call murder shows, and we get a text message from our kid. He's outside with his friends, and he texts us from the porch. We're done, but it's really cold out here. We don't know what to do next. Can we please come inside?
Your son is begging to come inside the house.
And then he trick-or-treated with 2 friends that we've never met.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, these kids must think we are the worst parents. Our kids having to text.
They went home and told their mom and dad, man,
He can't go in the house.
Javier,
Baby bear.
Javier Jr., baby bear, couldn't get in the house.
His
He
parents
had
are,
to beg his parents via text message to let him in.
please, Mom, it's so cold.
Oh, my God. We almost built him a fire right there on the front lawn. Holy crap, that's funny.
So that was our
Your
Halloween.
kid is begging to get in the house. Okay.
I saw that message and I was like, oh God, they're going to call CPS or whatever.
I was going to say, that's going to be a piece of evidence when
Right.
Health and Family Services
Yes.
comes knocking at your door. Just be like, Pinky, Javier, we want to talk to you
texted
about
him back.
something.
I'm like, yeah, buddy, you can come in. We just didn't want to entertain kids on a school night.
Oh, my gosh.
So that was our Halloween. What'd you do?
What day was Halloween this year? It was a Tuesday. What did I do on Halloween? I worked on my newspaper, and
Oh, that sounds about right. Yeah, Tuesday's layout day.
That's about it.
Yeah.
I did nothing. I get no trick-or-treaters at my place. So was I even home? I may have gone up to Top Shooters and had dinner and had a cigar and finished the paper there. I don't remember being home. But I don't get trick-or-treaters here. I was so disappointed. The first year I moved here,
Did you prep for it and
2021.
everything?
Oh my God, I had so much candy.
Oh,
It was
really?
ridiculous. Because look, there's a kid that lives across the street. There's a couple kids that live that way. There's more kids that way. There's a kid or 2 that live that way. I figured, you know.
don't want to be that guy who's not doing
Yeah,
it.
and I figured, it's not a big street. Even if they just go door to door here on the street, they're going to get a decent amount of candy. Not a damn one.
No.
Not a damn one. And I'm like, well, okay. I guess we're over trick-or-treating now. So, then last year, I bought candy I liked, thinking if they're not, I'll have some in case somebody does come around. And then if they don't, then at least I have stuff I like.
Yeah.
This year, I kept all the candy that I knew my son wouldn't like, that we accumulated at parades, and I put that in a bowl
Smart.
on the thing, and I'm
Smart.
just like, here's your double bubble, kids, and that kind of
and
crap.
the dum-dums.
And oh no, Max loves Dum Dums. My
Oh.
kid loves
shoot.
Dum Dum Pops.
I wish I would have known that. I would have brought
loves Dum Dum
brought
Pops.
some over.
He likes going to the bank with me because he gets a
Heck
Dum Dum
yeah.
Pop, which I like it because Dum Dums are cheap. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, there you go.
Go Max.
But otherwise, no, just all kinds of other candy. Like, he's not into chocolate stuff, like Snicker bars and stuff. That's not
No.
him. So now, granted, I picked out what I liked, and basically what neither one of us liked. That's what made the porch this year. And guess how many pieces of candy we're taking?
All of it.
No.
What?
I don't suspect any of it, to be honest. It
Oh.
looked like it was untouched when I got home.
Dang.
So I'm like,
And you
"Well."
had your front porch light on and everything?
Well, now see, that might have been part of my problem. Is my porch light is motion sensitive,
Oh,
and so
yeah. No,
unless you're
that's your
close,
issue.
it didn't.
Yep,
yeah,
that's
so
your issue.
That may have been my issue. So, but whatever. But it never helped in the past. This is the first year I've had that light. The other 2 years, it
Oh.
was like, Nothing. So
Well, they probably knew you were a bah humbug from.
I'm not a bah humbug. I like giving. I mean, I would love to
Kids like recycled candy, darn it.
give the kids candy. Well, the only reason they got recycled candy this year is because they didn't come around the previous 2 years when I spent way more money than I probably should have on Halloween candy.
My kid and his friends, the first house they hit was across the street right at 6 p.m. And I watched them go over there, and they had, our neighbors had a bowl of candy out, please only take one piece. And honestly.
Boy, that bit a lot of people in the ass this year, though.
Oh, I've heard stories.
I've heard a lot of stories of people just getting their whole bowl taken.
Yeah. So I was watching them go up to their first house, and my kid takes his piece of candy, and then the other two kids take candy, and then I see them looking up at the door to see if there are cameras. I didn't see if they took like a second round.
Look, you're not wanting to look up. It's the damn doorbell these days. It's the ring. I mean, like.
Oh, I don't know. We don't have the ring. We've got that one.
Okay, well now we know how to break into Pinky's house. No,
no, dude, we've got cameras.
A lot of people have the ring though, like you know. Yeah. So I mean, you don't. I just kind of assume if I'm walking onto a porch, I'm on camera these days.
Same. We've got cameras everywhere because our house is on a corner, and it's a pretty busy corner. And we've had a BB gun through our front window, a BB bullet, which we didn't realize at the time. And then, our mailbox got blown up several years ago. So after that, we were
like legit blown up.
Blown. Not like a little firecracker where it.
And not like a baseball bat. This was like.
Oh, no. And it was in the middle of July. It hadn't rained for a while. So the tree right next to our mailbox caught on fire because it was so dry. Yes. Okay. So after that, we were like, we should probably. And so we can get pretty much every angle of every car passing our house.
Nice.
And we found out who did the mailbox thing. We didn't press charges. It was like teenage kids. My husband wanted to.
Oh, I would have.
He was like,
I would have.
We'll teach them.
I'd have made an example out of them in the worst way.
Here's the thing. They were not from where we live, the city where we live. Oh.
Yeah, that's even better. Then you're not pissing off your neighbor. Oh, I'd have made a giant example out of them. And I would have put them right on the front page of my paper, big as life. I would have insisted on a perp walk into the police station, and I'd have been like right there with my big old camera lens. Click, 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 click. I'd have been getting I want them flipping me off with the camera. I want them like putting the hand in the lens. I mean, like, I'd have made them infamous for blowing up my mailbox. But see, that's the beauty of me owning a newspaper.
Correct.
I can fuck with somebody if I want to.
That's why we're friends, honestly.
Right?
We will never not be friends because you could pull some strings. And
I have one person specifically that has flat out told me that like they're never gonna screw with me because I buy ink by the barrel.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. You have a lot of friends.
You'd think, wouldn't you? Anyway, so, yeah.
So that was Halloween, and now we're into November. And
oh, my God.
I mean, seriously, Christmas will be next weekend. Like, it's just going to...
Stop!
Me saying it out loud doesn't make it any less true.
I like Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday of the year. And every listener that's going to hear this is going to make fun of me because they're like, of course it is fat ass. But, it's like, I love the meal. And the best part about it is that, like, you have all the benefits of Christmas with none of the commitment, specifically the gift-giving commitment.
That's true.
You get together with friends and family. You get to be thankful and have a nice, awesome meal, but you don't have to buy a bunch of shit.
Yep.
Christmas, I hate Christmas. You know why? And well, maybe
hate
may be a strong word.
But
I strongly dislike the gift-giving aspect of Christmas, and I'll tell you why. Because my birthday is November 29th. I get... I'm at this point in my life, nobody buys me stuff. They give me cash at most.
Gift cards,
whatever. What do you think that goes for?
Christmas gifts.
All my birthday gifts go to Christmas gifts to buy for other people. Because, I mean, it's not like I'm bringing in, like, millions of dollars running a weekly community newspaper.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. In order to provide nice Christmas gifts for people, a lot of times my birthday gifts go towards the purchase of said Christmas gifts. And so, I get kind of like
bitter, yeah.
It's not bitter. It's just kind of like I just don't like it.
Yeah.
And every year, at some point in the year, I think to myself, oh, you know what? I'm gonna do the homemade make something. I'll paint something for everybody, or I'll, and not a fucking. I'm not gonna loom pot holders. I did that when I was little, but get my point. Like
You're not going to needle point something?
I could have Max fucking do something,
Yeah.
and then that way, like they get the nice gift from the grandkid and blah blah
Yeah.
blah, and that'd be great. But I never do,
Yeah.
and so it is what it is.
So here we are, coming up on your birthday. And
Yep, here we are coming up on my birthday, and I'm already mentally thinking okay, what am I getting people? And then that's the other thing. I buy shit for people all throughout the year. Like when I see, I'm the kind of person that when I go to a store and I see something and I'm like, oh, you know what? That screams Pinky. Pinky would love that. I just pick it up right then and there, and I give it to you right away because I don't want to hang on to it forever. I don't have much space. And on the flip side of that, if I see it and I think you're going to enjoy it, I want you to enjoy it right then and there. I get my pleasure comes from seeing you get something that you appreciate and that you're going to use, and then obviously seeing you use it and whatever else. So I don't want to hang on to it for Christmas. So I keep threatening that at some point, one year, and I haven't started, but we are coming up on January 1st, so maybe I'll do it next year. Throughout the year, I'm going to keep a running track of what I got you throughout the year, and then I'm just going to give you a card and say, I really hope you enjoyed
enjoying.
Blah, 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 and just Merry Christmas and call it a day.
Yep.
And then that way it's like Christmas all year long, but then I don't have to worry about buying gifts at Christmas time. But, oh, God.
Deep breath.
You got me fired up. I'm fired up.
Deep
Anyway.
breath. Smell your cigar.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what else do you know? Feel came right out of the gate with that.
Little spice on the retrohale, just a little bit. A little hint of pepper on the retrohale. I'm sure that's that Nicaragua that's in the filler tobacco there, but otherwise,
This
very,
is a great cigar.
very smooth,
Yes.
very good.
Yes.
And
you know what I might do?
what?
The picture I took before we snapped record.
Yes.
So I think I showed you this last time we were together, how on a photo you can act like you're going to share it, push that button, but then one of the options...
Add notes.
Add a quick note.
There you go.
That is the best way I'm going to start tracking.
I've learned so much
cigars.
about my iPhone in the last week and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Michael, he showed me some stuff after we got done recording, the other week. Michael, he showed me how to do a screen record. I had no freaking clue that was a thing. I didn't know.
Oh, I love screen recording.
Here's the problem. I'm going to say that what I really would think would be helpful is like an in-depth class where somebody sat me down and showed me, okay, this is everything you can do with your iPhone. And they went through it all.
It's not practical though, because it just depends on how you use the device and what is important to you.
But I would at least like to know everything it can do so that I can determine if I need to do it or not. But on the flip side of that, I say that would be nice to have said class. On the flip side, I'd probably want to shoot myself about halfway through it because it would just be it's
too much information.
It's too much information, and it'd be so painful sitting there just hearing somebody be like, "Okay, so now with your iPhone, you're gonna." It's like I like learning little bits.
So that's what I do on
But I don't get
Instagram.
it
I
enough.
follow 2 or 3 accounts that. They've got a reel that just pops up in my feed now that'll say, here's 2 things you didn't know about your iPhone. I can digest 2 things.
That would be good.
I can't digest when people are like, here's the top 25 tips. I'm like, I'm out. Deuces. Not staying around.
No.
And if it's not something I use, that's 30 seconds of my life. I can tolerate that. But if you're 25 minutes into a YouTube video, hard pass.
That's a
nope,
bit much.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
Speaking of Instagram, though, I sent you something the other day of my new favorite Instagram account.
Yeah.
Of that girl.
Oh,
I
yes.
want to talk about
okay,
that.
I would say.
You're like, I don't know where you're going with this.
No, I didn't, but now I do.
Okay, this is her account is, I don't even know how to describe it. She comes up with 3 or 4 pretty funny things, like phrases that she's overusing now, and she's really witty and really succinct, and it's funny. She's really funny.
Yeah.
So
well, that's what you sent me. It was a video of her kind of summarize or coming up with a different name for various things.
Yeah.
And
Smop notch. was the first one.
Flop notch.
Flop notch.
So it's the opposite of top notch. So
yeah.
if you say something's top notch, it's primo.
Yeah.
But if you
Creme de la
but if
creme.
something is really just like
terrible of the terriblest,
just bad, and it's a flop, it's flop notch.
Flop notch. I love that.
See, that one didn't hit me nearly as much as like the third and the fourth one in that video, and I don't remember.
There was the expired one and the when
expired. Yes.
When someone is getting into your business and you don't want them to, and you tell them to keep their eyes on their own page.
Keep your eyes on your own
I just feel like
paper.
she's really down to earth, and she gives very practical insights.
Because the way she explained that was like it was just the most cutting thing ever you could hear when you were in school is when the teacher said, keep your eyes on your own paper.
Like you immediately like,
you were like,
don't.
And I was like, yes, that's so nice. When somebody's instead of saying mind your own business, just be like, keep your eyes on your own paper.
Yeah. That'll shut it down real fast.
I like that a lot.
So
and it's witty.
She's very witty. She's very witty. And again, I mean, her videos are maybe 30 seconds long, so tolerable, right?
Yeah.
It's not a commitment. Her latest thing was where she's talking about, let's say you're in the office and somebody, maybe they're known for saying things that you just generally are surprised somebody's like that they have the boldness to say that out loud. Like
I can think of at least one person that has a habit of saying things that you're just like, did you really just say that?
Right?
Yep.
Okay, so here's what she said. I wrote it down. She would say, oh my God, where is it that you are getting your Audacity in bulk? I've never seen it in such large quantities. Is this a Costco thing? Do you have a promo code?
Nice.
There's 1,000% chance I'm going to
getting your Audacity in bulk.
1,000% chance I will use that in the next week.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for the right time. But you've got to have 2 or 3 of these like locked and loaded.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not witty enough to come
go.
up with that on the fly.
Same.
So.
But see, now I've got that language in my mind. So if someone says something super obnoxious that everybody in the room's kind of like, ugh, that'll just roll off the tongue. I'm just really curious.
Really? Will it though? Will it?
We'll see. I'll report back.
Because here's the thing. I'm sitting here and you're telling me this, and then I'm thinking like, but it's Pinky.
Well, that's true.
And she's very nice.
Though.
I just don't know if I see you flat out staring somebody in the face and be like, where do you get your Audacity in bulk? Is it a Costco thing? Do you have a promo code? I just don't know if I see that.
We'll see. I had a conversation with a gal the other day. I was working with her on a project, and she's 28. And when we were talking about how old she was, she goes, God, I'm almost 30. And I said, whoa, what? First of all, there is a confidence, I think, that comes with being 30. Like in your 20s, you're still almost not really an adult, and that's not a knock. It's just, like people are still in college, and they're
you don't count yourself
figuring
mentally as an adult yet.
But when my experience when I turned 30, and then especially when I turned 40, as a people pleaser, I'm definitely at the point where I'm like, I'm gonna not be like that anymore. No, this is not how life works, and we'll see.
I've started to try and get over my people-pleasing tendencies the last couple of years, and it is very
hard because it's our default. And
Well,
you have to rewire yourself to not respond in ways that are like prioritize everybody else except yourself.
No.
Yeah. And so it's got to be.
Boy, this could get into a nice discussion about something that went on today that I won't bring up now, but like I'm looking at you and you know exactly what I'm talking about because when you're a people pleaser, sometimes people take advantage of you, and eventually you have to say no.
Yep.
And then it becomes your fault because what, you're being a jerk. Why are you being a jerk about it? Blah 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 and all that. And it's like, not quite the case.
Nope, exactly.
Not quite the case.
I've also thought a lot about
anyway.
And this is through I think teaching our son this. Is like he sees things in very black and white, so it's hard, trying to teach him that the world's kind of gray. It's got some nuance to things. There are some things like you have to be principled in some things, but when he's like so and so said something or other, and I'm like, my husband and I'll respond, I mean the sky's purple, and he's like, what? And that's our way of saying like, listen, just because I said it doesn't make it true.
Yeah. Right.
Just because. Like, and there's a Keanu Reeves video that has shown up on my Instagram recently where I guess he's like, I'm at the point in my life where if someone says 1 + 1 = 5, fine, I'm going to let them. It equals 5. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
I'm like, yes. But that gets back to like, just because someone says you're being a jerk or you're being selfish. Like that doesn't. It's usually
in my opinion, it exposes their mindset, and
correct.
it
Yes.
exposes more about how they process
Yes.
and perceive things, and how they
They're used to getting their way.
precisely.
And so
It speaks volumes about them and their
yeah.
character.
So us throwing
you know.
down a boundary, which we didn't used to do,
Oh,
now hits them a certain way.
You know what?
You know.
Yeah. Let me. Do I have that anymore? Hang on. I used to have a thing, and I don't know if I have it anymore.
So what are you looking at right now? I'm so curious.
I'm looking at my photos.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to
Did you
find.
screenshot
I
something?
had screenshotted something a long time ago, and for the life of me, I don't know if I still have it or not.
About boundaries?
Yes, and it was basically
I really want you to find this.
fuck, and it was essentially, I don't know, I can't find it. I did find my quotes thing, and one of them is, "How you are treated by someone is more important than how much you like them." You know, I like to keep track of like
Same.
quotes that I hear
Yes,
that
same.
I think are like, important
Yep.
and like kind of speak to me.
Because I think
like,
that's part of helping to rewire our brains. Like
Oh,
we
completely.
hear something over and over, and then we start to believe it and look for it out in the world.
I mean, like this one. I've used this one a lot, a handful
Let's
of
hear
times.
it.
The word "decide" has the same root. It has the same root as the words homicide and suicide, because when you make a decision, you kill off 1,000 other options.
Wow, that's good.
Right?
That is good.
I heard that and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Wow.
Yeah. So
I'm shook right now.
as
Like
somebody
that-
who like. I'm one of those ones I will stop and like analyze a situation and try to come up with a bunch of different ways
yeah.
this could go before I make my decision. I'm not an impulse decider kind of person,
Same.
And so when I heard that, I was like, oh my God, So
That's
yeah,
good.
yep.
That's good.
So anyway,
Another phrase that my boss and I, my boss, she and I have been reminding each other frequently because as people pleasers, we're usually yes, 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 and then our schedule gets full. So we have a new phrase we've been saying the last couple months, and that is, my plate is as full as I'd like it to be.
nice.
So you're not saying, listen, my plate's full, because
Yeah,
you can't come at me and my boss like we're very busy people, so you can't come at me and be like, well, my plate's really full, and I'm thinking my plate's fuller.
Yeah.
And life is not a competition like that.
Yeah.
I'm also realizing that. But to say my plate is as full as I'd like it to be, right?
Yeah.
And so some weeks that's like it's not full at all, which has not been the case recently, but yeah.
Well, I also know that I just got to get through for a little while, and then eventually it's gonna like lighten up and chill out. But fuck, November
Until
is
then.
definitely gonna be a busy month. So
I love this time of year. Listen, unpopular opinion. I like daylight savings time.
that was my chair, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I can replicate it. I'm not over here rapid fire tooting. So anyway,
On demand.
on demand. Anyway, you like daylight savings time?
Yeah, everybody else
Oh,
is like
God.
complaining that it's dark at
I like
4
the
o'clock.
one day, that Sunday when you get that extra
Yeah.
hour. I like that extra hour.
That
of sleep.
day feels so okay.
But
So
otherwise,
No.
I'm not a fan of the
I think-
getting dark at 4:30.
I think I like it because when it's dark, I feel like it's winding down time. In my life, the last probably 20 years,
Yeah.
I have always felt like November and December are Corona pinky. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Right?
okay,
If you think about it.
I
And I
guess.
think it has to do with if it's still daylight out, I have always felt this need to cram as much as I can into the day and to achieve and to get stuff done.
Yeah.
But when the sun's down by 4:30, I don't feel that internal pressure. So I have always loved daylight savings coming to an end. I've loved the November and December time because I give myself permission to not overbook myself.
Yeah.
And I've worked really hard to not do that in the last couple years, like to enjoy that sense a little bit more throughout the year. But
Okay.
yeah, I do like daylight saving. I like this time of year when it's dark early and
I realistically just want us to pick one and stick with it. The going back and forth is what pisses me off.
you can move to central Indiana. They don't observe it.
They have changed. The state now observes.
The whole state?
Yeah. It used to be that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, back when I was a kid, And
There was like
know,
that strip of
my dad
like
lived
central,
over there.
yeah.
There was a period of time when like
He'd be on your
he was
same,
on the
yes.
same, and then there was a period of time that he was ahead.
Yeah. Not
No,
anymore.
it's
Oh,
now
really?
the state moved to that and adopted it. So now, yeah.
Well, that seems to be going in the opposite direction of.
I
what
know,
we're-
right? Well, let's be real. It's probably complicated as hell to
Oh
like
yeah, doing
have
business
that
or
one
yeah.
area
Yeah.
where it's like you are and you're not. You
Yeah.
know, so I get it, but yeah, no, and I understand the rationale of time zones and whatever else, but like for the life of me, the daylight savings time, unless I have been lied to my whole life, I have been told that it was to give farmers more time.
That's what I had heard.
In the light, which okay, fine, but farming technology
It's evolved.
has evolved significantly enough that now you drive by these guys when they're in their tractors out in the fields or the combines out in the fields. You could land a fucking plane based off the
That's
light
true.
that they're kicking off.
Yeah.
You know, so like they don't need an extra hour of daylight. They are doing just fine with what they've got, you know? So I don't feel the need to like do the shift. I feel like we just need to like, and I know Congress brings it up every once in a while and everything, but just like all things with Congress, they never actually accomplish anything good. So it's like just fucking end it and call it a day. Pick one and stick with it.
I feel like if there's a legislator that is able to achieve that, they will go down in history as like the greatest ever.
For president, whoever manages to end daylight
that's
savings
your
time,
barometer?
that
Wow.
I you know what, go for it. If you can pull that off, run for the high office.
Wow.
Of course, if they're smart enough to pull that off, they're probably smart enough to
do-
not run for president.
Well, that's true.
There's a lot of truth to that.
But if that's the only, if that's, I mean, not to imply it would be somebody's only accomplishment, but
what? Let's be real. There's a lot of congressmen that go there, spend an entire
Yes.
career in Washington, and don't accomplish jack or
Anything.
shit.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise if that is the thing, the one thing they accomplish. I'd say they had
More
a
power to
successful
you.
career in Congress.
there you go.
But whatever. Now we're getting into that. So, anyway, so I'm about halfway on my Elegancia. What are you
Same.
thinking?
It's good. It's got, I haven't done the retro hail, but it's got some spice to it,
A little bit.
but not overwhelming. Like this is, and I've,
The name is very appropriate.
yes.
It's a very smooth,
Yes.
elegant, well-constructed cigar. My burn line is a little off only because I am in the wind, but you know the draw is really, really good. Smoke production's been nice. You know, I mean it's a nice quality cigar.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
I have definitely come to appreciate more over the last couple years a well-constructed cigar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't say I paid that much attention to it early on. I was more into the flavor
Yeah.
and, you know, kind of that experience.
Yeah, but when you fight a few of them,
yes.
you start to appreciate
you sure
good
do.
construction
Yes.
after you've like
Yep.
had a few
If I don't have to
fights.
sit here and light it every 2 or 3 minutes.
Precisely.
Yes.
Or it's not unraveling
Yes.
on you or splitting
Yes.
and everything. There's one cigar that I've been smoking lately, and I'm not going to name it, but the wrapper on it is so thin. So thin. And so...
So it's like smushing and...
Well, no. It's very delicate. So when you cut it, it might crack. Or when you take off the band.
Every time?
Nah, I've only smoked it 2 or 3 times, and
Okay.
every time
Oh,
it's had a little bit. But then if you take off the band and you take it off, it'll like pull a chunk of the,
oh.
and then you've got that going on.
And it's not a budget cigar?
No, it's not a
Oh,
budget cigar,
oh.
but it's very, very ginger, and you have to be aware of that. And it sucks because it's a good cigar, but
Is the name of it Anti-Elegante?
no.
Anti-Elegance?
No. I'm not gonna name it because I don't want to shit on it. And it also is possible, like early on, it's a production thing. Like for example, I had 2 boxes of the Charter Oak Cabanos, and I was very public in saying it's a great cigar. The wrapper on it's very brittle and it'll crack, and that was my biggest complaint. I bought another box not too terribly long ago, and I have entirely smoked through that box now, and I had one that cracked.
okay.
And that one, in all fairness,
User error.
I may have dropped it. So that
Oh,
may have
okay.
been on me. So
So you've
realistically,
changed your tune
so
a little bit on those.
yeah, they evidently figured it out, or maybe the place that I bought the other 2 boxes, perhaps the humidification at that place, which I would think would be quality, but evidently maybe not. Maybe that was problematic, but it's the box I had recently was much better.
Oh, good.
So it's possible that maybe it's just early on. And it's also possible that maybe the cigar that I've got, maybe it's a storage issue of my own. I don't know. Maybe it's just a little. I don't think it's dry, but I don't know. Who knows? But
So then when something like
yeah.
this comes along, we're like, oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
good.
When I get a
That's
good one, I'm just
cigar.
like, you know what? This is
Yep.
appropriate. This is good.
Yeah, it's
So, so what else did we? I feel like there was something that we were like, we're going to talk about that. The
tiny
next time
homes.
Tiny homes.
Finally talking about tiny homes.
Tiny homes. Let's put a pin in that. Let's
Okay.
remember that.
Okay.
Was there something else we were going to put a pin in? There was. It was your Instagram gal. Something about food. Wasn't there something about food? Stupid names. Stupid names for food.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So
You've
you-
got some thoughts on that. So this gal, same gal.
Yeah.
One of her segments was like, something she's over, like things in life that she's over.
Yeah.
And one of the things that she did a whole video on is I'm over like restaurants naming their food embarrassing things. Like
Yep.
nobody wants to walk into a place and order the macho taco
Uh-huh.
or macho nachos.
Macho nachos.
She had a lot of thoughts on that. And as I was playing that, you went off. You were
Yeah.
like, oh, yes.
You want to know the one that gets me? The one that irritates the holy piss out of me?
Let's hear it.
And the one that I hate it, and yet look,
You can't not order it.
no, because they're really good. I mean, so Texas Roadhouse, which, mind you, some people are like, why are you ordering anything other than steak at Texas Roadhouse? Because sometimes you just don't want to spend money on steak. Sometimes you don't want to spend the steak money. You want to get the chicken finger money.
I do not resonate with that statement at all. I will
Well,
eat.
Javier must have a really good job. That's all I'm saying. But anyway,
love
some of us. Well,
I get what you're saying. though.
I'm not saying I don't
Yeah.
love steak, but sometimes
When you don't want to spend $25 on. Do you need my
Yeah,
nails?
I do. It pulled, but it didn't like.
I got you.
Yeah. So if you just like, there you go. If I wouldn't have clipped my nails the other day, I would have been able to very easily get that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Um,
All right. So what do you order that's not?
the chicken fingers
'Kay.
at Texas Roadhouse are really, really good. And anybody who's hearing this is getting over the fact that I just said chicken fingers are good. I mean, come on. You don't have to be a kid to have chicken fingers. But
I like a good chicken finger. What do
Right?
they call it though?
chicken critters. Chicken critters. So I'm a soon-to-be 42-year-old man sitting there at a fucking Texas Roadhouse having to tell this waitress or waiter, I'd like the chicken critters with a side of fries. I mean,
And they're like, if you don't have your kid with you, they're looking around like,
I the last couple times I've done it, I just said I want the chicken fingers.
okay.
Because I'm like,
not
I refuse.
refuse.
I will not do it. Like, I won't do it. But, no, it's embarrassing. I mean, it's just utterly embarrassing to be
Well,
like, I want
this-
the chicken critters and fries.
This gal on
Screw you.
Instagram, she agrees.
Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one that
She
thinks
is over
stupid
foods
names.
that come up that you have to embarrass yourself to order.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And isn't it always the case that it's probably something really good? That's probably why they do
Well,
it.
yeah, because they want
They want you to order.
and I'm sure some marketing person is out there thinking like, okay, we can't just call it the fajita nachos. Everybody has fajita nachos. Let's come up with something better. Ooh, I know, macho nachos. They rhyme. That means it's special, and people will acknowledge it's special. And that's right. No, it's stupid. Chicken critters is a stupid name. I'm in a mood.
You are in a mood.
I'm in a mood.
That
I
reminds
had too much
me
coffee today. I'm all fired up.
of another post that's like, can we stop calling things like better than sex? Like, listen, Linda, I've had your better than sex cheesecake. Quite frankly, I'm concerned if your needs are being
Right?
met.
Exactly. Yes. No. Realistically, I can't say as I've had anything that I would be like, no, you know what? I will give up on sex in order to have that.
Yeah, no.
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 There is no food that I have found that I won't say, you know what? I'll hold off on this to get to eat first. No.
Yeah.
It's typically like I'll hold off on the food, and then maybe afterwards we can go get some food.
Right.
You know, that kind of thing. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's not. Oh my God. Anyway.
Quite frankly, I'm worried if your needs are.
You know, exactly. It's like, Linda, I'll take care of that.
Listen, Linda. Listen. I miss that kid. I
Listen.
wish that kid had more videos. Listen, Linda.
I don't know what
Do you
you're
know
talking about.
that's how the meme started? It was like
Oh,
the little kid. I think it's his. We assume it's his mom he's talking to, and she's trying to convince him of something. And he's like, he's like a 3-year-old kid. Linda, listen, Linda.
I don't know that, but okay.
Oh, I'm gonna have to send that to you.
Okay. Well, let's do this now. It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by
Villiger.
Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family-owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. We have random, bizarre ghost knocking going on or something.
I don't know.
Did you hear that?
I did. I don't know what that was.
I don't either. Did something like rattle?
I don't know. A bunch of birds flew out over by your car. Wait, I just heard it again.
I know what it is. So somewhere out that direction,
Are they hunting?
they're shooting.
That's what it was.
Because, yes.
By the way,
they do
sitting
that.
here, that is the most beautiful tree I've seen in a long time.
Right?
That is really pretty.
I've enjoyed my backyard,
Yes.
this fall. It's been nice. And the pond doesn't have a bunch of shit all over it anymore
Gorgeous.
because the wind has come through and whatnot. I mean,
Man.
I wish my neighbor back there would actually, invest in something to, move the water around and everything. But no,
There's another
whatever.
gunshot right there.
Yeah, no.
Don't
No.
mind us.
Trust me, when they're shooting the big shit and I'm in the shower,
Ooh.
it sounds like somebody's on the back of my house banging on the siding with a hammer. Like that's how clear I can hear it in the
Wow.
shower.
That's got to be
And-
unincorporated then, right?
Yeah, I guess.
It has to be.
You would think.
Wow.
But I mean, you're that or nobody, and Freeburg, Illinois gives a shit about that, but I guess technically they're not in city. I don't know if they're in city limits or not.
There's
there.
no way it can be.
I'm pretty sure the sign, the welcome to Freeburg or the little green sign with the population, that's further up the road than here. So
Well,
they might be.
It's
but I don't know where
the boundaries, though. You know where I live.
Yeah.
That farm behind our house, that's
right,
unincorporated. We hear
yeah.
gunshots too. Yeah.
Where
I moved into that house when my husband was finishing up training somewhere.
yeah.
So I lived in the house by myself, and I'll never forget that first morning I heard gunfire. I called the cops. I was like, here's my address, and I hear gunfire. And the dispatcher's like, we can send somebody, but I know where your house is, and I live pretty close to the police department.
Yeah.
And they were like, that's unincorporated up there, so they're probably
Just
hunting.
doing their
I'm
thing.
like, wow. Okay.
There you go.
All right.
See
Okay.
anyway, all right. Well, yeah. So Villiger Entertainment Report. What have you been entertained by lately? Doesn't have to be TV. It can be books, podcasts, whatever.
I listen to nerdy stuff. So
I
it's-
know, but it doesn't matter. Some people actually reach out after your episodes and they have commentary on your nerdy stuff, So I mean,
really?
yeah, and not in a bad way. They're actually intrigued and whatnot. So, I'll give you a moment. I will
Okay,
go
you
first.
go ahead.
So I finally caught up and watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Okay.
I've been a little behind on the Marvel stuff because I got very overwhelmed, and it just wasn't, the quality wasn't hitting the same as before, and so I hadn't seen Guardians. I still have not seen the third Ant-Man movie. There's the Loki second season that I think just ended. Well, this will come out on Friday, so it will have ended on Thursday, the day before. And then obviously the new Captain Marvel movie hits, I think, theaters on Friday. So, I've got now 2 more movies and 6 episodes of a TV show to watch. It's a lot of content. And that's my problem with Marvel is they're pushing this stuff
So
out.
much out.
And it's too much. I feel like it's too much. Now, they've come out and they've said, we're going to pull back a little bit. which is good. I feel like they've flooded the market with it too
Yeah.
much and
A
whatever.
little oversaturated.
It has. And
Here's the thing,
and
though,
again, the quality hasn't been the same.
I like when you find something that you enjoy because I feel like that goes hand in hand with the cigar smoking. Like you are very committed every night to getting outside in the tent.
Yep.
You know, when you're in the middle of a show or a series.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I watched that. I had, prior to watching that, started watching True Detective on HBO. And it's the first season came out and ended, I think, in 2014. So I mean, this is an older show. The third season, there's 3 seasons, different people in each one. But I'd never seen it when it was on before, and I'd never gotten around to it. So the first season is Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson as the cops, and so far I'm 2 episodes in, and it's interesting. I don't know where it's going to go, but I understand. It's been good. I've liked it so far.
Okay.
But
True Detective?
Yeah, True Detective.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, that and Guardians. That's what I've been watching.
Trying to think. Did you mention it to me? Martin Short and
Only Murders in the Building.
Only Murders in the Building.
Yep. Did you watch it?
It's on my list. No,
okay.
I really want to. My best friend recommended it too. It sounds like something I would really enjoy.
It's awesome. I've been watching the third
What's it
season.
on?
Hulu. It's on Hulu.
Okay, see, that's the problem. That might be the only streaming thing we don't.
See, I'm actually on the verge of possibly getting rid of Netflix. I'm just like,
Oh, really?
I'm looking at Netflix and I'm like, what is on there that I give a shit about? The
Mm-hmm.
problem is, and the one thing that's held me on is that's where Thomas the Tank Engine is, and I know Max would like
Oh, yeah.
have a fit if. Now
Yeah.
I do have some Thomas DVDs, but then I think to myself like, I mean, I guess I'm using my Xbox to play DVDs. I don't even have a DVD player anymore, so.
See, I go through seasons of life where I love when I find a show because it's like that thing to look forward to, you know, and I find myself making time. But I'll be honest, like this time of year, it's football for me. I mean, Sundays I love.
Boy, I have been so out of football this year.
I had been the last couple years, and I've just here's what has gotten me back into it, and it's not Taylor Swift. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad that there are probably more female people watching football now because of Taylor Swift. I don't
And in
dog
all
them,
fairness,
and I
there's
don't.
probably a fair number of men who have now heard some Taylor Swift music. So maybe there's been a little
balance there.
cross contamination of the fan bases.
That has gotten me onto the Kelsey brothers.
Yeah. They have a podcast.
They do, and
Yeah.
it's really good.
Okay.
They're entertaining. They're I don't know about Travis being intelligent. Jason is very intelligent. I'm not saying he's not.
got to be smart because he's now with Taylor Swift.
That's true.
And I'm not saying that because I'm like the biggest Swiftie fan or anything. But here's my thing. From a brand perspective, from a like
Genius.
from a marketing and a brand perspective and a like, rising star thing, man, he hitched his star to the right wagon there, man.
Yeah, yeah.
He's made so much.
But on that
just on that
podcast,
little bit.
It's Jason Kelsey that's
I would hope
driving
that's
the
not
train.
why he's doing it too. I would hope it's
Who
like
knows?
a legit thing.
Yeah, who knows?
I
It's
would
hard
feel-
to tell.
I know. I would feel really jaded if I found out that it was like fake, though.
There's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there that are like, oh yeah, it's totally fake. It's totally set up. There's like pictures of Kelsey's publicist. She hates Taylor Swift apparently, but like,
Why?
who knows? I don't know.
Interesting.
But I don't listen to the podcast because of Travis. I like Jason. He is funny.
Is he the eagle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what I love about him. So he plays a position that usually gets like no props.
Yeah.
And I love that he's bringing like notoriety and some relevance to a position that deserves it. You know, like you usually as a offensive lineman, you do not get. Nobody cares about you. Like they care about the quarterback.
Okay.
But then you've got a guy like Jason Kelsey who is like finally putting that position on the map.
Who even is the quarterback of the Eagles?
See, now that you asked me,
I don't know. I legit don't know. You're looking at me, and I truly don't know. Damn it. This is my point.
it's a very simple name.
Like I'm sitting
Good
here thinking the
God.
last quarterback of the Eagles I remember is Nick Foles, and that
Oh,
was
that was
a
a couple teams ago.
Yeah.
No, that was a couple.
Yeah. I am so out. Like, I have lost touch with the NFL, and it's not for any reason. I'm not sitting here going like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Like any sort of like political thing or whatever. It's
Jalen Hurts. Good luck. God.
Oh, okay. I know that name. I've heard that name. I don't know. I somewhere along the way I lost track of it. I will admit, the whole Rams leaving St. Louis thing left a bad taste in the mouth, and that's where I started.
Sure.
Like,
I feel
my
like that's a
drifting.
lot of St. Louis sports people because St.
Yeah.
Louis is an amazing sports town. And for Kroenke to do what he did and just give sports fans the middle finger, like that's I get that. I don't blame you for that.
I don't. There's no sport specifically that I'm just like.
But I feel
all
like
in
this
on.
year's matchups are a lot better. Like the Cowboys played the Eagles, and that was a really good game.
Yeah.
The other day, that was. I mean, I had that on the background when I was working on something. I'm like, God, this is a good game. It came down.
Teddy likes the Cowboys.
Oh, sorry, Teddy. Well, they lost.
Teddy should be used to that.
They were. I don't know the specifics. They were in the red zone. They were. I don't know, 5 yards out, 10 yards out from scoring. Like 40 seconds left in the game, and then the Cowboys needed to score to win, and they had a false start and then a delay of game. They killed them.
Yeah.
It killed them. And when you're playing a team like the Eagles, you can't make those silly mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I don't know.
Anyways, that was a good game. And here's the thing. I usually dislike any team that comes out of the state of Pennsylvania. No offense. I don't know what it is. Any team.
Well, I'm not a Pittsburgh guy.
No, and I think that's where it started for me.
Yeah.
Like I did never like the Steelers.
Yeah.
And that just trickled over into like the Phillies and but you find one person, and for me it's Jason Kelsey, who seems like a good dude. He's funny. He's smart. I just really like him. So now when I was cheering.
You watch the ManningCast?
I can't.
What?
I can't.
What? You literally.
I know.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume that you have an agreement with Javier that your hall pass is Peyton Manning.
Yes. Yeah. But I can't. It's not.
Why?
I don't know. And I hate to say this.
They had
out loud.
Arnold on the this.
I
past
know.
week, and I guess Arnold was like feeding a donkey. At one point, no, I swear to God, at one point there's a donkey like in the screen, and Arnold's like feeding a donkey during the middle of this like ManningCast.
I don't know what it is.
Schwarzenegger's a weird dude.
Yes, but it's painful to watch Peyton and Eli together. For me,
I think they're hilarious together.
No, it doesn't seem organic and natural, and which I know is weird coming from me. Like I like things planned and scripted, but like now that I've seen the Kelsey Brothers podcast, I see like okay, I don't know. I think because they're willing to take more risks, like their podcast is kind of cheeky and and then here's the thing. I loved Peyton as a player. Loved him as a player. Okay. And we're talking back like I followed them. I mean, when he was still with Tennessee and then the Colts picked him up, like I've been with him through the journey. But I
was with Peyton before it was cool.
Kind of. I kind of was.
It's your hipster moment.
Although with his dad, I mean, I feel like Peyton's always been a known thing. It's not like he all of a sudden, it's not like a Kurt Warner where he came on the scene sort of unexpectedly.
True.
Like people have been watching him since he was probably 2. But I love him as a player. I wish he would go into the booth like Tony Romo did. I did not like Romo as a player. Again, sorry, Teddy. Romo's an amazing commentator. I think Peyton would be the same. But like Peyton on his Peyton cast or whatever I can't.
ManningCast.
I don't know. Just not my. It's
I'm
painful.
shocked by that.
I know.
Shocked by that.
It's painful
Absolutely
to me.
shocked by that.
It's painful to me. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So football. I love football. I watch it. I watch pretty much every Monday night, every Thursday night. I know people are like, Thursdays are too much. They shouldn't have added the Thursday. Well,
Thursdays
they did.
aren't too much. The problem is Thursdays tend to get the most dog shit game of the week.
It's true.
Like, I don't know what it is. Thursday night football is typically the worst game of the week.
Yep. That's because it was like late to the game. They didn't always have a Thursday night game, and everybody wants Monday night. Everybody wants Sunday night.
Look, I can get it, but like when you're building the calendar, you're never going to build up Thursday night football if you're putting, the fucking Jaguars versus like, I'm trying to think of another shitty team.
The Giants.
There you go. The Jags and the Giants on Thursday night football. You're never going to build
Yeah,
up
it's a big who cares game.
the brand if you're doing that. You got to put some teams on there that people care about and get the eyeballs on it that way, and then you'll like over time build it up as something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just my opinion.
It's true. And you would think Thursday night is, I mean, for the younger crowds, I don't know if it still is this way.
It's the
but
start of the weekend.
It's the start of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And people, Thursday night, when I was growing up, in my 20s and stuff, that was like the night to go out.
In all fairness, when I was in college, every night was the night to go
That's
out.
true. That's
Except maybe
true.
Sunday.
But I mean, as a young...
see, Sunday we just barbecued at the house and still drank. But anyway.
Yeah, so I would think Thursday night would be... Anyway, so I watch Thursday even if it's the crap game. Like, I love football. I love the planning for it. We love Hard Knocks. I love watching that show when it comes out every year leading up to the season. And that's always the shit team. I'm pretty sure...
This year was the Jets.
It was the Jets.
And let's be real, we know exactly why that was.
Well, here's the thing, though. I think they picked the team. It has to be someone that I think finished in the bottom 3 of teams.
Okay.
I think that's what determines that you get on the show. So they're not, like back in the heyday, they're not going to like go in, and the Patriots certainly were not going to let them come in when they're riding, winning all these championships.
If they're the bottom 3 teams, they're desperate for some eyeballs and some attention, so they're going to let HBO come in and do all this stuff.
I have to believe that was probably set in stone maybe before they even knew that they were picking up Rodgers.
Well, they definitely made it about Rodgers.
Oh, for sure. But, I think it helped him. He took some lumps during COVID when he had some different positions on things, and I think my best friend in college loved Rodgers, and I think she gave up on him over the COVID stuff, and I feel like this kind of brought him back to... I didn't have a problem with what he said.
Look, he brought us the discount double check. And I think if anything should be respected, it's the fact that he saved us some money on our insurance.
Have you seen there was a Halloween group of kids that went around? It's like a viral video now. Each kid was a different, like one of them was Flo from Progressive. One of them was Discount Double Check.
Nice.
And so when they came, like the video is like the first kid coming up from like, I can save you 15 minutes. I can save you 10% of your car insurance. Yeah. And then the next one is Flo saying it is hysterical. And one of them I think is the Discount Double Check. So
nice.
Yeah, so I don't watch series right now. I'm just not in that season. I dedicate my time that I'm watching to the game of football because
I tend to get a lot more TV watching done in the winter. Because let's be real, what else is there to do?
True.
So and especially like you said, I'm out in the tent. So it's like I've got the tent, I've got my iPad, I'm having cigars, and I'm burning through shows.
Seasons, yeah.
And so, so I tend to get a lot more watching done in the winter time.
So I'm not a good person to have on the podcast if you're looking at the entertainment report, but I'll talk football.
But it doesn't have to be TV. You're
true.
A big podcast consumer.
That's true.
You listen to a lot of shows that way, and that counts as entertainment as well.
Yeah. So I would say definitely New Heights, which is the Kelsey Brothers podcast, and they talk a little bit about the Swiftie stuff. It's not. I don't feel like it's too much of that. But
they probably don't want to
focus
too
much
on that.
Yeah, because that has already. I mean, I feel like it's dying down now, but boy, that was a lot.
Oh, it was a lot.
That was a lot.
Well, and let's be real. The other half of that is, unless they get married, there's an end point to that.
Yeah.
And so, do you really want to put out? Do you want to make that the focus of your podcast?
Right. Do you want to redefine yourself and
as that? And. I mean, there are things that I look back on this show and I think ooh, that was cringe. That didn't age well, things of that nature. So it's just one of those things that the last thing in the world you want to do is purposely address that stuff a lot to where
they have a segment, I forget what it's called, but it's basically I think it's called No Dumb Questions or something like that, where you can submit. And once the whole Swiftie thing happened, a lot more non-sports football people were listening to their podcasts, and so they did a whole segment on what's a down, and hearing two guys who grew up in football.
That's actually really cool, though.
It is cool. And it's not I mean, describing it down is not as easy as it seems.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
No, that's actually really cool. And I think that that's good.
And they don't do it in a condescending way.
No,
you know what
I
mean?
think
Like,
that's really helpful because I do feel, and maybe this isn't the case. I mean, I would hope this isn't the case for everybody, but like, I do feel like some guys maybe make football a bit impregnable.
Yes.
For women.
Yeah.
That like
it's a club and you don't belong.
There are
yeah.
questions that they have, and they feel stupid asking the question because their guy maybe makes them feel stupid when they do ask the question.
Yep.
And that shouldn't be the case, and so I appreciate that.
That's why I'm sort of glad. I mean, I thought it was a lot, but like Taylor Swift being affiliated now in some weird way with the NFL, it's kind of like cigars. Like, I want more female friends to be able to sit. I would love. I mean, I'd watch football and smoke cigars with anybody. It doesn't just have to be men. But, like, I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm not like, all these women come into football. Bring it.
You never come to the lounge with me, though.
Bring it. Huh?
You never come to the lounge with me.
I would. I love it.
Well, okay, then come to the lounge with me.
I know. You saw my schedule. Like, we literally FaceTime.
But at what point does Corona Pinky kick in to where suddenly then I can text you and be like, hey, I'm going to the lounge?
That comes around every time we podcast is,
But see, the problem is you pivot from Corona, from regular life Pinky to where you're busy for everybody else to Corona Pinky at the holidays, and when you do that, then you're still busy, but it's family focused.
It's true.
Which is and I'm not criticizing that because family's important and whatever else, but the point is, it's not like you become less busy.
I become different busy.
You just become different busy. Yeah. And so then it's like still
busy.
Just
busy with my boys.
And then there's me sitting around with my thumb up my ass going like, well, I don't have any friends anymore. What the fuck am I going to do? Anyway.
We were FaceTiming the other day, and you showed me your calendar view, and it had, if you have anything on your calendar that day, it has a dot, and you're like putting it up to the screen. You're like, Pinky, look at all these dots.
Look at my dots.
And then I pulled up my calendar view, and
I
was like, every single day
had a dot.
And I don't.
And that gave me the most extreme anxiety.
I don't intend to wear it as a badge of honor. Yeah. I'm just in a season where I've been doing this for 2 or 3 years now. I'm trying to back off and not do that, but it's a rewiring, and
there's going to come a point that you're going to look back and you're going to be like, and I'm not saying this to be critical. I'm saying this to maybe give you something to think about, to consider.
Okay.
There's going to come a point in your life when you look at that and you look back on it and you say, was that worth it?
Yeah.
And that's the point that it's going to get rough for a minute because you're going to realize that no, some of it just wasn't worth it.
For sure.
And
for sure.
I hit that, and I hit it. I think I hit that point a little earlier than most people do because I have been actively trying to pull back on some things and focus on things that I more enjoy. The problem is that there's a meme out there. It was like things I spend my time doing, things I enjoy, and it's like a Venn diagram, and they never meet. They don't
cross over.
They do, but there's a third circle, and the third circle is like way down here, not touching the other two circles, and it's things that make me money. And it's like, yeah, that's my life. It's like that's my problem is that I have things that I like doing, things that I spend my time doing, and then way down there, totally unrelated to any of it, is things that make me money. And that sucks.
Yeah.
The when you can merge all three, that's
well. See, you say that. That's where I am, though. I enjoy the things I'm doing.
Yeah.
I really don't have anything where it to me it's not the activity itself. It is the volume of activities, and that's the problem. Is when I'm invited or asked or I agree to do something. My husband tells me this all the time. I see it as one sliver. You know, that's just 1 hour of time. But when you add them all together,
it's the whole fucking day.
It's the whole day. It's the whole week. And I enjoy it, and until it comes to that week, and then I'm like, this is too many things, and that goes from being something I enjoy to now something I have to do. But at the time I agreed or I accepted the invitation. But
Oh, I do have that problem where I will agree to do something, and then when the day comes, I'm just like,
that's one
why
more
did
thing.
I do this?
But here's the thing:
You know?
most of what I do makes me money, and I'm, you know, I'm not a money person. Like I'm
No.
not running around chasing the dollars. I'm not.
Well,
like,
I'm not
oh, I
necessarily
gotta.
saying that either. I just would like to be able to like live a little bit more comfortably. That's all. You know,
Yeah.
such is life.
Yeah.
Economy's not helping anything there.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh my God! I went to the grocery store the other day, and I spent $45. Which, granted, some people are going to be like, "Oh my God,
I wish
45
I only
bucks—that's
spent-
cheap." But all I bought one box of. I mean, I'm at this point in my life. Okay, for those of you on the cast that know me in cereal, I'm at this point in my life. I bought a box of generic store brand cereal. I bought a bag of generic cereal. You know, like, dear God, you know, I can identify generic cereal to name brand cereal
I know.
blindfolded,
Yes.
and I'm buying generic cereal because I cannot justify spending $7 on a fucking box of cereal. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
So I bought that. I bought some grapes. I bought, what else did I buy? Milk. Fuck. What? Three frozen pizzas that were on sale. 3 for $11. So it's not like I was buying like DiGiorno or something. I mean, like this is like freaking one step above party pizza, Totino party pizzas. Okay, I mean, so yeah, so it's not like I'm buying great pizzas. What else did I buy? Was that it? Oh, and a bottle of lemonade for my drive home from the grocery store, like out of the cooler case at the
That'll
register.
cost you a pretty penny.
It was $1.
Oh.
$45 fucking dollars for that
Yeah.
though. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's outrageous. The price of groceries are just outrageous.
It's a lot.
And here's the best part. And I'm not saying that, for shits and giggles, I looked. I wasn't going to actually sign up for it because I don't know. It's a pride thing. And I'm not diminishing anybody that is on them, but I'm just saying. I looked at the Illinois, food stamps, just to see if I qualified and if so, how much I could get because, let's be real. We're talking price of groceries. I don't qualify.
Wow.
I make too much money.
And you're
And
thinking
it's like, and I'm like, and I barely make too much money. I mean, less than $1,000.
wow.
Less than $1,000 a month. That's the difference between the cutoff for me as a single individual and what I make. So yeah.
Wow.
I know, right? Isn't it fucked? And then I'm thinking to myself, how's a person making that living these days?
Yeah.
I think it was a little over $2,000. That was the cutoff point. And I'm thinking, fuck, between a car payment and rent, I mean, for me, there's $1,300 right there.
Yeah.
So how is anybody making a little over $2,000 a month, living?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a whole nother
That's
thing. Boy, I'm just all fired up about all that kind of shit today, aren't I? So let's do this. This would normally be the time that I give some information about My Monthly Cigars, but I've hired that out this week, so take it away.
My Monthly Cigars is a premium cigar subscription service. It comes in a variety of different size boxes at affordable prices. Use offer code PULPIT and get free shipping on your first box and 20% off any items in the online store at mymonthlycigars.com.
That's offer code PULPIT. Thanks. And while you're over there, make sure you get some fucking good coffee. Don't be a fucker. Try the fucking good coffee. It's good, especially with the eggnog creamer that I've been using.
You like your coffees blonde.
I'll take it black if I, whatever. But
Add some flavor.
But why?
Yeah.
If you have the option, do the nicer. It's like with liquor. I'm not one of those guys that will. I don't like sitting and sipping whiskey straight. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't find it enjoyable. I don't like the harsh liquor burn. I don't like I'm just not a fan. There's some of them, if they're really, let's put it this way, I can't afford the whiskeys that I would like to sit and sip straight. Because if they're really good, you don't get a lot of those problems. But the ones that I can afford, I don't like doing that. And so I make cocktails.
That reminds me, my parents are on vacation right now, and my mom texted me
Oh, God.
that they sat at the bar the other night and what did she say? Stand by. We had drinks with a guy the other night who was drinking, I don't even know how to say it, Macallan. It's a single.
Macallan?
Macallan?
Macallan.
Single malt scotch, $96 a drink. Where
Yeah,
they
see.
were. $96, literally drinking money at that point.
That's well, we're smoking money. You don't have any idea how much that cigar cost when it came out?
No.
That's a $21 cigar.
Wow.
This is you and I have just smoked a 20. We have just collectively burned $42.
Oh, well, thanks, Seth, for
Yeah,
providing us
thanks,
this opportunity.
Seth. Appreciate it. But no, I mean, and what's funny? So this one is the 2021. In 2022, that year's Elegancia was $22. This year's it's $23. I'm wondering when Michael's going to cut that off, because at some point I would think that he'd be like, yeah, we might be pricing ourselves a little out of the game here. But then again,
I'm sure they're keeping
know.
their stats. They know what's going to sell.
Yeah,
and honestly, $1 more every year is not even keeping up with the price of inflation.
Well, and exactly, and that's the thing. Everything else is costing more. So I mean, I'm gonna have to have. I've put it off a little while, but I have a few emails I need to fire off to some of my newspaper advertisers, being like, "Hey, you know that grandfathered rate that you've been living on since like 2017? Guess what? And
That's tough.
Yeah, because I'm not. I feel pretty confident that they're gonna stick with it, but you never know. You never know.
Yep.
And it's not like I have a giant safety net to be like, oh yeah, I can afford to lose one.
That's one of the challenges with, and I don't just mean this for your paper, but like in general, when people hold not just rates, but like discounts or something, governments will do this a lot. Like, by ordinance, this something or other rate goes up with the CPI when that goes up.
Yep.
And, that year people, maybe are a little grateful. But then when it expires the next year or whatever, it's like, well, now you've basically sort of delayed.
Yeah, you delayed the pain.
Delayed the pain.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, well, if you just, did it 1 or 2% every year, then that would be more, I don't know.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't know. So
here's the thing. I think if I live like you, if I was single and I didn't have a kid that was dependent on me for every single meal, I could live off of taquitos. I love a good taquito.
Okay.
Like the frozen stuff. I buy at Sam's.
I was gonna say, I've got my frozen pizzas. I have my lunch meat.
And honest to goodness.
And cereal.
Ramen noodles. But here's the thing with ramen. I have a friend who, a baseball family taught me last year. They make ramen noodles, but then they cook up some sausage.
Okay.
Like sausage crumbles.
Yeah. Put that in it. You know what else I've heard?
Good kick.
Milk.
In ramen?
Yeah.
Instead of water or in addition to water?
I believe instead of water. But you might want to look that up. But I've heard milk.
What is it?
I heard it makes it like extra creamier and just like different.
Really?
Yeah.
That was something I noticed at the grocery store the other day. The 1% milk was $4.59 a gallon. The 2% milk was $2.49 a gallon.
Huh. See, I buy the 2%. I don't go whole. Despite what Mickey Peg might fucking say, I don't go whole milk.
I can't do whole. I love milk. I can't do whole milk.
When Max was very little, obviously, little kids, when you get them off of the natural stuff and you're putting them on the moo juice, we were doing whole milk with him for a while. So I did get pretty hooked on whole milk for a while.
They need the calories and the fat content.
And I was unfortunately getting that as well. But I can't do skim. Skim's just white water.
That's true.
I don't like skim milk. I need at least a little percentage. But 2% tends to be fine.
Well, there you go.
That's the blue label, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. I like that one.
Pink label is the skim, and that's for something a gallon. 1% for something a gallon. So
But see, I even get the grocery store brand milk because it's that I will
That's
say
the
that's
same
the
thing.
exact same stuff. It's just different labels,
Yep.
and it's like half the price. So, I'll do
Yep.
that.
Yep.
I don't
Yeah.
notice a difference in my milks.
So ramen noodles and taquitos, I could. At this point in this season of my life, I used to be a lot healthier with my eating. That's not the case, and I'm okay with that right now. But
That would not be.
I
Boy,
would love
ramen
it.
noodles and taquitos.
So literally
Your
yesterday,
salt consumption would be through the roof with that. Especially the ramen noodles. There's so much fucking salt in ramen noodles. The few times a year that I might have ramen noodles, I just feel so incredibly bloated. For like the next 2 days. It's just one of those things.
my food consumption yesterday for lunch and for dinner, I had a turkey sandwich.
Well, I can tell you right now, as we're sitting here, kind of coming to the conclusion of everything, I have had 3 cups of coffee.
Yeah, I have not
eaten
I
yet
haven't
today.
eaten anything today.
I am hungry.
Same.
I am
Same.
definitely hungry. But more than likely, I'm going to hold out to dinner because after we conclude
We're getting to
this,
that weird
I've
time
got-
of the day where you got to commit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
if you
I
have
mean-
something now, then you're going to be hungry at 10 o'clock at night
I've got
instead
an
of just
appointment at 4, and then I've got another one at 5:30. So I'll probably just wait until after my 5:30 and go at it that way. And it's just what it is. But yeah, no, I mean, I haven't even had a bowl of cereal yet today.
I
Damn
have
it.
not eaten today. Nope.
No.
I've got carpool duty at 2:30, and then
Oh, well, then we definitely need to be
we're gonna
wrapping
wrap
up.
up. I've got a sausage casserole I'm making for dinner for my boys, but then
Oh.
I've got a meeting from 5 to 7. So
Well, maybe I'll go have dinner with Javier and Baby Bear. You're like, hey, guys. I heard there's a sausage casserole going
the
on
practical
over here.
side of that is that I could not let you do that because I'm actually Javier is counting on leftovers for lunches this week.
Oh,
Sorry, not invited.
sucks to be either me or Javier, one or the other. I guess it's going to be me, but, whatever. Anyway, well, I just finished up my Elegancia. I got it down to next to nothing and
I'm working on it. I'm
killed
close.
it. And fantastic smoke. Very, very smooth.
Yes.
Very, very just well constructed. Very smooth and good cigar. Had a little bit of spice. The spice level kind of picked up throughout.
Yes, it's
especially in the final third. I
Yep.
noticed that spice level to the smoking experience. I didn't
That's
do
where
a
I am.
last minute retrohale, but I've already put it in the ashtray. My ashtray
You called it
desperately
a night,
needs
yep.
to be cleaned, so I'm not gonna go back to it at this point because there's ash up on like all the sides there.
yeah. That's got some spice.
Yeah.
It's
little bit.
good though. Whew.
Yeah, it's good. Well, I am available on the socials on Instagram at the Cigar Pulpit. I'm also on Facebook where we have the Pulpit Parishioners group. It's a private group, so just request access to that, and you can get in on that. I'm on Twitter/X. Don't really do much. Gervais keeps telling me I should. At some point, maybe I will. I don't know. You never know. Maybe when Instagram finally boots me off. And then YouTube, where you can watch this, and you see my lovely,
It's beautiful.
wooded background that I have going on today. And then, the Ask the Boys situation is still up in the air. The app, really, I cannot get that app to play through the board anymore. And so for right now, I do not have a hotline. So we're going to go old school with it. If you want to submit a question or something like that, you can email me at Nick, N-I-C-K, at cigarpulpit.com. And we'll go at it that way. But
That sucks.
for right now, I do not have the hotline available. I'm looking at alternatives. I just don't know what's a good second sideline, because I use the Sideline app.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what's a good alternative second phone number, burner phone kind of app, that has voicemail capabilities and everything else. So I guess there's Google Voice, but I don't know. I haven't really dug
It's
into
learning
that.
a new technology, and I'm at the point where I'm like,
I know.
"Meh."
I know.
I have no passwords, nothing left of me. I don't want to learn any new technology.
I
I'm a
know.
ball of fun. That's what we're learning.
We've kind of both been collectively bitching a little bit today. You've been a little bit less. I've been kind of in a bit of a curmudgeonly mood. You know, and that's something funny. Somebody mentioned to me the last time you were on, after listening to that episode, they said that I was a real curmudgeon. And now here I am with you again.
Do I bring out the worst in you?
You know, I don't know. You might bring out the curmudgeon in me.
Wow.
I'm not saying that.
I take criticism like super personally, and now
I'm not saying that, but I am saying that like now there's 2 episodes of this that
Here's
if you listen,
another-
I have become a real curmudgeon
Oh.
in our conversations. I don't know what that's all about.
Maybe just against the backdrop of my positivity. Maybe it just
I just
feels that way.
I'm perceived more curmudgeonly because you're just like sitting over there, just sunshine,
Radiating
rainbows,
sunshine.
and unicorns.
I've been told that before. Like
That might be it.
people have said they feel like I'm naive because I'm just so positive.
Oh, I don't think you're naive.
Here's my point. It's not that I don't recognize the reality of something. It's that I choose to not let it affect me to the extent that I think other people do.
It's valid.
They get upset and, argue or be curmudgeons over things that they have no control over. And I'm like, meh, that's one way to be.
Yeah.
That's not me.
I like shaking my fist at the cloud. It's one of those things.
Not me.
Whatever. Anyway, well, again, thank you, Seth. It was a great cigar.
Yeah,
We did
thank you.
enjoy it. And thank you, Pinky, for taking time out of your day to do this.
I'm glad to be here.
This was helpful. So, well, anyway, this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick.
It's your girl, Pinky.
And everybody stay safe and stay smoky. That got really cold. You know, when I start saying back in my day, that's when
know.
you have permission to just
Slap you.
throw the headphones off and be like, I'm fucking done.
I don't even
Really.
want to go home. I want to sit here and look at this beautiful tree.
We'll just see if Javier can do the carpool duty again.
You're hilarious.
All right. Anyway, later, guys.